Hi, I just want to make a quick video to make awareness of something. Um, it just seems sometimes when people have depression, they just need a little uplifting or a little optimism, which I know is easier said than done with depression. Totally get it. I had a patient today. They just recently had cancer, got some stuff taken out, and they beat their cancer, which is awesome. But they're just in a really depressed state and, not doing much, having a hard time with a bunch of other things, which is totally fine. I'm not going to mention any of it. But they're really struggling with depression, and I asked them, well, what about, what are some things you like to do, some hobbies, some of your interests? And she said reading. Okay, and she told me what kind of stuff she likes to read. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's awesome. Like, she's like fantasy stuff. I'm thinking one way, and then she mentions like fairies, dragons, werewolves, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, awesome. So I'm like, were you into like Harry Potter and Twilight and all this? She's like, yep. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm like, those are fun things to read. And her mom was over in the room, and she was just like, that's weird stuff. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's totally normal. That's fun stuff to read. Plenty of people love that fantasy stuff. So I'm like, no, that's normal. You can totally do that. That's not weird. But her mom's a lot older, so she just kind of thought that was weird. She's like, well, I have all these historical or, spicy, romantic books. And her daughter just looks at her like, no. And I'm like, no, those are completely opposite, types of view things. Sorry, I'm like crying because I'm laughing. Those are totally opposite things to read about, and just completely different concepts. And no wonder she doesn't want to read your books. Sorry. But I was like, yeah, totally. And I'm like, there's plenty of thrift stores, Goodwill, other thrift stores that have plenty of books that are super cheap. Because she was telling me how she bought some used ones online and told me how much they were. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, go to the thrift stores and get those books. I'm like, if that's what makes you feel good and you love to read, go get some darn books. Like, do it, girl, And then she was like, well, what about my hair? She was really concerned about that. And she has the really, short, kind of fluffy, hair from cancer. And, it's slowly growing back. And I said, I'm like, really? Not in a mean way, but like, girl, come on. And I said, well, if you need some hats. And her mom's like, yep, I got her hats and blah, blah. And she's like, and I'm like, go get yourself a wig if you want to. I'm like, if you want to feel good, having some hair, get a wig. There are plenty of wigs, whether it's just a cheap one for something quick for a quick outing or, getting a nicer one. And I'm like, but honestly, you don't need to. I'm like, you actually look pretty good with the short hair. It does it for you. And I said, that is the style now. And she's like, yeah, that is true. And I just said, it's the style. It looks good. And I'm like, if you walk out and people are looking at you funny because you have really short hair, you just yell, what? I have cancer. I mean, not everyone's that bold. I get it. I'm not usually that bold either. But if you're kind of irritated and people are staring at you, I would say it, And I just said, if it's bothering you, just say that. I'd be like, hey, I have cancer. Quit looking at me. Either people will say they're sorry and say, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Or they'll say, oh, okay, like, whoops, and won't look at them anymore because they'll understand what's going on. I mean, not everyone needs to be that bold and say those things, but just say it. It makes awareness. It makes awareness for people around to see people with short hair because of cancer. I mean, it makes awareness for others, especially the younger generation or kids when they're like staring at you and they're like, why does that lady have really short hair? I get it. Little kids question things, or anybody that doesn't know anybody or have anybody in their family that has been through cancer and has had the short hair and stuff. I mean, it brings awareness. So I'm like, that's a positive thing. I'm like, you can make awareness to other people of, yep, I got short hair. Cool. It's from cancer. That's okay. I told her you can, and if you don't want to, then, just go out and rock it. I'm like, if you need to feel better about it because it's kind of like fuzzy, curly, little, it's got its own little thing going on. I said, go to a hairstylist. Say, fix me up. Put some designs in here. You know, cut it up so it looks more like professional, nice looking. And it's not so kind of wild. I'm like, get it done up. And then, you know what? Rock it. Rock it like you're the coolest chick in the world. And she's like, I don't know if I can. I'm like, do it. I'm like, hold your head up high. Stick your chest out when you walk. And just walk around like, yep, I'm cool. I got short hair. Guess what? I beat cancer. Like, you know, feel it proud. And I get not everyone's that bold, and I know it's easier said than done. Totally get that. But just having that optimism and positivity and just seeing that there's another side to the story. Like, you don't have to be the depressed person of like, oh no, who's looking? Everyone's looking at me. Oh my gosh. You know, I get people feel like that. I get it. But guess what? You don't have to. Just, if there's a whole big scenario of something, just that little 1% sliver of that optimism, use it. Use that little bit of optimism. Don't let all that negativity get you. Don't let other people's thoughts or opinions or feelings get to you. Feel good in your own skin. And I told her, I said, you beat cancer. You had a bunch of surgeries. You went through some devastating life-altering things just recently. I'm like, you had a lot going on, girl. And you can be depressed about that. You can, you know, go through those emotions and feel them. I said, feel that resentment and feel that pain in that, I can't think of the word right now, denial, and, you know, feel that if you need to, to get through it. And I said, and then at some point you'll start seeing the other side, and you'll start having a little optimism, and you'll start accepting all that stuff that's happened. It takes a while, and you usually have to work through the steps, and sometimes you regress back in other steps, but usually at some point you get to acceptance. Not everybody does, but a lot of people do decently. I don't know. But you'll get to that point of acceptance, and you'll become okay with what happened, and you'll see that, hey, I did make it on the other side. Hey, I am feeling better. Hey, my appetite's back. Hey, my hair is growing back. You know, there are good things happening in my life. I still have this, and I still have that, and I still have, you know, this going on for me. Don't think about all the horrible things. Think about that, just that little bit of, you know, something better. Like, oh, I went through all this stuff. I had these surgeries. I'm feeling yucky. And she's like, yeah, I've been watching this 600 pound Life TV show. And she's like, it always makes me want to eat. And I'm like, yes. I'm like, see, that's a positive thing. Because of all the stuff she went through, she didn't have an appetite. And she's a tiny little thing. And I'm like, that is hilarious for one. But I'm like, that's also awesome. That is that one little tiny % of positivity. Like, hey, I watched this show. It made me hungry. I wanted to go eat. I went and ate a big sandwich. Like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. That little bit of positivity. Like, use it to your advantage and feel better. And it's not going to all happen at once. And sometimes some days are better than others. I get it. You know, reach out to people, video chat someone, reach out to friends or family, find a new hobby. And she's like, well, I have been wanting to like get my walk back out and do some like saute, you know, like vegetables and things. I'm like, yes, do it. Get it out. She's like, well, I was going to do it when I got my new apartment, but now I'm staying with my mom and blah, blah. I'm like, do it now. Yes. I'm like, you don't have to wait till you get a new apartment. Do it now. Feel good now. I'm like, you guys go out to the grocery store this week, get some of those fresh veggies, and you use that walk and use it. Make yourself feel good. Make a yummy meal that you've been like craving. Like, do it up. Come on. That'll make you feel good. So I'm like, that's a new hobby, a new thing you can start and make yourself feel better. And it might not seem like a lot, but just that little bit will inch you further into feeling better and feeling good about your new self and your new, you know, how you look and just everything. Like, you just take it one day at a time. You just do little things here and there, and slowly you'll start to get there. And yeah, at the end, her mom came up to me before I left and was like, thank you. I haven't seen her smile this much in a long time. And I'm like, oh, like she was smiling periodically when I'd say something like sassy. I'm like, let your sass out, rock that hair if you get a wig, or if you have your short hair, I'm like, rock it. Like, I'm like, come on, like, feel proud and confident. I'm like, you beat cancer. Come on. You're awesome for that. And you're still here. You made it. You were strong. You made it through all that stuff, all that horrible, horrible stuff. You made it through. You were a rock. You made it. I get you're depressed. You can feel that way and you can get through it at your own pace. But I said, you're doing good. You just got to let your little bit of sass out and, just a little bit of normalcy. Let it out. And so I did see some smiles throughout the visit, and that made me happy. So I kept going on with other things, telling her other things, and I just kept seeing little smiles, and I like that. It made me happy. But after, like I was saying, her mom came up to me and said, I haven't seen her smile in a long time like that. And she's like, thank you. She's like, you really made her happy and encouraged her and made her feel good. And I'm like, I could see that, and I'm glad. That's what I'm here for. And you know what? That's why I became a nurse. I give education, I do wound care, I give vaccines, I do blood draws, I do lots of things. I mean, nurses have a big laundry list of things they do. And that is one of the things that you can't teach, I guess you would say. I think that's what I'm getting at, is you can't teach that. Like, to be able to have that good optimism, positivity, showing people the other side of situations. I mean, you can teach it, but I don't know, it's hard to do. And I have a decent enough personality that I can do that for others, and that freaking makes me feel good. Like, if I got no recognition for anything like that, awesome, because I don't need it. If I got no extra money from work, for that, good. It's okay, because I don't need it. I mean, it's not like you get recognition or extra money for things like that anyways. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter. I don't need any of that stuff. A lot of us nurses don't need that. Yeah, it's nice to have a little recognition once in a while. I mean, it makes us feel good, and it's nice to show, get recognized for stuff that we do. Like, we get applause awards, or you get Daisy awards and stuff like that. That's awesome. But really, what us nurses are here for is to uplift people, to show them the other side. We see a plethora of diagnoses, situations, family dynamics. We see a lot of stuff, and so we have a lot of knowledge because we've seen a lot of stuff. We've seen everything, visually, mentally, emotionally, all that stuff. We see it all. And the fact that I can make someone's day by showing them a better side of life, or giving them examples of things that they can do to help themselves. That's what we're here for. That's why we become nurses. We want to help people, whether it's doing wound care, helping bathe them, helping set up their pill planner if they struggle with that, or literally just giving advice or giving positivity and optimism and helping them push to get a referral so they can go see a psychiatrist and therapy and stuff, because that's what they need. Whatever it is, we're nurses because we want to help. And you know what? I was already happy enough that I could see her smirks and smiles when I was saying things to her, and she's like, yeah, I could do that. Okay, yeah, I could do that. And she's like, oh, that's a good idea, actually. Like, she was agreeing with things and smiling and stuff. But after her mom came to me and said that, I was like, thanks. Like, that's all I needed to hear, that, because I didn't know the lady. I'd never met her before today. I'm like, that's what I'd like to hear, is that I help make someone's day. I'm like, that's literally all I need. That made me so happy, and I instantly had a smile, and I was like, yes. I'm like, good, that's what I was here for today. I'm glad I was her nurse today, and I got switched on to her case like last minute, so I'm like, awesome. Like, I was the perfect person for her. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video, is because sometimes we're just put in those situations like that because we're the perfect person for that situation. And today, I was the perfect person for that situation. I was exactly the nurse that she needed at this point in her life. And that makes me feel really, really good. That's such a good feeling. Like, it kind of makes me want to cry, because it's a good feeling. It made me feel good. Like, it made me feel happy and positive and being like, I was already in a good mood, but now I'm like in a better mood because I'm just so excited. I love it. And that's why I'm a nurse. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel proud. Literally, just helping someone feel better from the inside out. It's an amazing feeling. It really is. So be happy, be healthy, everyone. And remember, you don't know what people are going through. So just always be kind and show gentleness, kindness, say nice things. I mean, if you see someone walking by and you're like, cool shirt, or I like your haircut, say it. Just say it. Like, it might be random. I've done it to people. People have done it to me. Just say it. You know what? It might just, maybe that person had a horrible freaking day at work or at home or whatever, and you saying that one positive comment might just make their day and make you feel better. Or you know what? Or maybe just because they're like, hey, like, thanks. Like, ooh, I feel good about myself. Like, someone said my hair looked good. Yeah. Like, why not give someone that extra little bit of positivity? Spread love and light. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.